Hey, good afternoon, Tiger fans. It's Tuesday, October 7th. We're at the Westport Flea Market, and our speaker today, the legendary Kansas City Star sports writer, Blair Kerkhoff. Blair, as always, we really appreciate you coming out.
Love coming here. I think trying to figure this out. I think it's 24 years I've been coming out here. So obviously enjoy it. It's a great group. I always tell people when I retire, I want to sit in the audience here and have a burger and watch some good speakers.
We would love to have you. So, Tigers play Alabama this week. Biggest game in Columbia since?
Well, maybe in the SEC era, 14 versus 8. 4-1 Alabama against 5-0 Mizzou. I think Missouri has a chance here, and they certainly should feel as good about their chance as any big game that's been played at Faurot Field in the SEC era.
What is your impressions of the Tigers so far? They've had a couple of nice wins. I think pretty good KU team, pretty good South Carolina team. The other three were, walks in the park. But overall, what do you think of the team?
I think if you're a Missouri fan and you looked at the schedule and you counted the number of wins at the beginning of the season, I think you'd have gotten to 5 after 5 games. And then okay, Alabama's game number 6. Yeah. And that's going to be a good one. But you had a chance to build momentum, which is exactly what Missouri's done. They built momentum and good feelings, and they've been kind of pretty healthy. So, yeah, I think Missouri's played to expectations, but looking at the schedule in August is different than feeling it in October, which is where we are. 5-0 feels pretty good for Missouri. Not only is it not out of the realm, I think it'd be a disappointment now if this team doesn't win double-digit games this season and be a team that's part of the playoff conversation at the end of the year.
Let's change topics. I think everybody's smarting a little bit after last night's Chiefs game. To me, they seem to have lost a lot of their swagger since that Super Bowl, and the mistakes they made last night were eye-opening.
Yeah, a lot of them. Special teams with the penalties on kickoff returns. Harrison Butker kicking the ball out of bounds at a crucial moment. Pass interference penalties. The pick 6 that went the length of the field. If the Chiefs had just been able to push Kansas City native Devin Lloyd out of bounds, after he gets 10 yards or something, who knows how different that the game unfolds. But he goes 99 yards for the touchdown to give Jacksonville the first lead. Yeah, maybe the Bills coming due for all the one-score victories the Chiefs have. They had an NFL record 17 straight one-score victories dating back to the previous season, and now they're 0-3 in those games this year.
It's been tough. So talk about the Royals a little bit. We talk a lot about the injuries of the Royals pitching staff this season, but they actually gave up fewer runs than they did in 2024, and the problem was on the offense, and especially hitting the runners in scoring position.
Yeah, that was after being so good the previous year in 2024 when they made the playoffs. I don't know if it was a club record, but I think they were second in the American League batting average with runners in scoring position. They were great. I mean, it was like over 280. And this year they were more middle of the pack, but they weren't getting base runners to begin with. So that's why it felt worse than it maybe actually was. I thought they managed to do okay with the starting pitching, even through the injuries, with the emergence of Noah Cameron. Chris Bubich had the good first half of the season, was an all-star, and then they lost him. But it's looking promising for next year with Cole Reagan's return, and Michael Wacha was the sort of the workhorse of the staff, and we'll see if Seth Lugo can get his mojo back.
A lot of talk today about the stadium issues in Kansas City. I'm going to put you on the spot. What's your gut feel? What's going to happen?
Boy, it seems to change from week to week, depending on the story. The most recent development is Chiefs President Mark Donovan telling a group of media while he was in Jacksonville that Populous is now involved with a redesign of a potential renovated Arrowhead. But a Kansas Dome stadium is not off the board. For the Royals, we don't seem to be any closer to an announcement on downtown versus Clay County versus Johnson County, Kansas. So the story really hasn't changed much over the last couple of months. But with the lease expiring in early 2031, not after the season, but before the seasons begin in 2031, and 5 years to go, a little over 5 years to go, they better get moving on this because it takes that long to build a new stadium.
You do a great job covering everything in Kansas City sports. We always appreciate it. You are a legend. He's a Missouri Sports Hall of Famer, and we are sure glad to have him as a guest speaker at the club. Our speaker next week will be Dion Clisso, who is the 810 varsity sports expert on prep high school football. You want to come hear about some prospects in Kansas City and who are the top teams in the area. For more information about Tiger Club membership and events, go to kctigerclub.com.